Hello and welcome to Flory Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 16th of December 2022. A week till Christmas, or a week till Christmas when we break up. We'll be breaking up this time next week. Busy week this week. Obviously, I've been pushing on heavily with the Phantom down in here, which we'll talk about in a moment. Really wanted to get this one done. It's going to be my final one for the year. We've got other exciting things coming down the line. We've got things coming down the line next year, which I'm trying to do now so we get it all sorted. So the run up to Christmas has been quite busy. So anyway, still having a lot of fun. Anyway, all started on Monday. So we had part 8 of the Phantom, went up with you. And obviously, this particular one, we were talking about decaling and going through and then finishing off the decaling process. And again, you know, there's a lot of horror stories about this particular kit with the decals being thin. They are very, very thin, but that makes them very, very good because they can form very well. But like I've said before, just make sure you've got some warm water, use your decal softeners as well as your setters, and you'll be absolutely fine with it. And they do go down. There's a hell of a lot of them. So yeah, that's what I spent a lot of time on. Around about, I think we worked it out, it was about 14 hours in total, going through getting them all on. But anyway, they're all on there. Looking very much the part, all on the bottom, which is all good. And then it was just a case of going along and burying those decals down in there. So you want them to be nice and sort of, you know, part of the paintwork now. So the way we do that is I put down a gloss coat. I know a lot of people have asked about why use a gloss coat. That's purely because I just find that the gloss coat just gives you an even finish right the way over. The decals tend to be more glossy than the paintwork, let's say. So that way it just evens it out. And then gloss tends to give you a more sort of natural finish, being a smooth finish right the way over. Then we came along and we went over it with a satin finish to start with the weathering. So that way you've got an even surface. So it's just the way I look at it. If the decals are more glossy and then perhaps you've got more of a sort of satin or matte finish on your paintwork, if you just put a satin over it, you get an uneven finish. So that's the reason I do it. If it works or not, I don't know. But I've been doing it for donkey's years and it seems to, from my point of view. So anyway, that all went down. Looking very nice. I didn't have any satin varnish, so I had to make some up. So we used a little bit of the extra colour, no, that's extra acrylics, flat varnish, which actually gives a really nice, you forget how good some of the old products are, and I haven't used it for probably over 10 years, and I've started using it over the last couple of builds, and it's worked really, really well. So anyway, we mixed in a little bit of gloss with that one, and then we thinned it and put it down, and worked an absolute treat. So that one's all going down, giving us a nice, as you can see, just a flat finish right the way over it, or a nice flat finish. So you've got a little bit of gloss to it. Then we went along, there's quite a bit of burring on this particular kit as well. So the burring, as you can see, just down in this area here, is the line, the sandwich, if you like, between both halves of it when it's injected together through the mould. So what happens is sometimes you get a little bit of a step. So we show 3 different ways of actually clearing that off and then how to clean it up without destroying all the detail down in there. And then we were just making our way through it. So as you can see, looking very much the part, just like that. Anyway, that is part 8. That's up with your members. You can go off and see that one right now. That's up to watch. Tuesday was obviously me and Matt's Not Quite a Podcast show. Again, the usual sort of fun and laughter and giggles. It's just literally our kickback show. We tend to do it. It's live. Members can join in, obviously, through the chat room, and we chat to you guys about things, and we discuss things, really, all things modelling and what's going on at the moment. Again, next year, we're going to get back to putting some topics on board as well. So we'll be looking at, obviously, you know, manufacturers, aftermarket manufacturers, decal manufacturers, and they're going through their history, pulling them apart. Are they any good? Are they rubbish? You know, the usual bits and pieces we do. And then, obviously, we'll be hopefully getting you guys involved with that particular one as well. So as I say, it's been a great success, these particular ones, all year. I'm going to be talking about those with you on Tuesday, members, so keep out for that particular show. And then obviously we're going to be going through basically all the live stuff we do as well. So what we've been doing recently, we'll be doing that particular version on Tuesday. But anyway, great with me and Matt this year. We've had a fantastic year doing these. We started them in April, and we've loved doing them, and obviously you guys tend to enjoy doing them as well. So anyway, that is up with you. PM show on Wednesday. No Andy, it's been a bit under the weather this week, so get well, Andy. And me and Matt, we were talking about obviously all the latest kit releases coming down the line, the various bits and pieces. I do hear on the grapevine that the Hurricane, the Revell 30-second Hurricane, is out. So that should be coming down the line very, very soon indeed. So I'm hopeful that we might get those just before Christmas. You never know. So if we get them in by next week, that'd be fantastic. But apparently they have dropped with said suppliers, so it should be making our way to us very soon. But anyway, usual thing with PM, talking about everything that's going on in the PM store, what we're up to, what's coming in, what's going out, and obviously a bit of a thank you to you guys on that particular one. All right. Yesterday I did a vlog all about the builds. As you know, the last couple of weeks I've been asking for your feedback. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. You know, the feedback we get is not just, oh, you're doing great or you're doing rubbish. You know, you guys are really constructive, some really good ideas come through about how we go about doing the video builds, right the way from my presentation work to what I show you, to the camera angles, the audio, all the bits and pieces, your total feedback on what you'd like me to build, what you don't want me to build, so forth and so on. As I say, I tend to do this every year. This year I've broken it down into segments instead of making it one giant thing. So this particular one was all about video builds, how I go about them and do them and things like that, but really to get your feedback. And you guys have been absolutely fantastic. I'm about 3/4 of the way through reading them this morning. And whilst this is rendering on the computer, I'll carry on and do the rest of them this afternoon. All right. So, but a big thank you. If you can give me your feedback, what you want to see, what you like, what you don't like, all the usual bits and pieces, please post them up in the forum. And then obviously I can hopefully adjust to make it even better for next year with next year's video builds. But as I say, some great ideas come through the line already. I keep a little pad next to me and I sort of jot down all your ideas as we go through, and then I go through them at the end, and then we can tweak things just to make the actual site even better. So anyway, that's all about there. So members, if you want to go off and you can see that one is up with you right now. And then that gets up to today, really. So we got part 9 of the Phantom. Is up, and in part 9 we've got obviously the nice all ready for weathering, so you can see that nice sort of satin coat right the way over it, just like that. We go through the usual motions of using the dark dirt wash because I just want it for panel lines. We don't really want to make it too dirty because it is a sort of a show bird, but it has got some weathering on it, so we go through the motions of putting all of that one on, usual thing, wash on, wash off, and then we're going to go through the things of a little bit of oils. So we use a little bit of neat oils and things on that one as well to do some weathering. We also use a little bit of thin, clear green and blue mix to make a tint for the front canopy, as you can see down in there. So that gives us a nice tinted canopy when it's on. So that's looking very nice. And then obviously going around, putting things like the gear on board, getting those all installed, putting all the little tiny, tiny seal decals, which are very, very thin. Those grey ones on the bottom are absolutely like hairs in there to give some really nice detail in there. And as you can see, the gear, main gear going put on and everything else. So with all of those in, looking very, very nice indeed. It's almost done, to be honest with you. There's not a lot to go. So here she is now. This morning I've just done the pitot tubes. I've got to put on the lights, which are going to be my next job to do after I do this. So we're going to get those on board. But generally, as you can see, she's looking very, very much the part. So it's got a little bit of weathering on there, nothing tons and tons of it, but it has got a bit. We've gone along, we've done a little bit of oil work, as you can probably notice around here, there and everywhere onto it, just like the real thing's got. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful. There's something about a Phantom, it's that classic lines, you know, very, very nice indeed. But it has come along very, very nicely, as you can see. We're looking very much the part. So we've got a few bits to go on there, a little bit of weathering still to go on. Mainly you've got the lights, we've got to put on the canopies, get those sorted. We've got the boarding ladder still to do and a few other little bits and pieces. But generally, hopefully I'll get this one finished off today. And that'll be ready for the final part with you, which will probably be up either Monday or Tuesday. Not quite sure yet which day. So we'll get that up with you. But that's coming along very, very nicely indeed. I must admit, I have to say, thoroughly enjoyed the build. Once we got rid of those little teething problems, shall we say, at the beginning, with some of the fit issues with this kit, but now it's been absolutely gem all the way through, gone together really, really nicely. So it's one of those kits. I'm really glad I tackled it. I'm really glad we went with the scheme we went with. There's not a lot I don't like about it. I love the detail. I love the little touches to this particular one as well. It's got some nice little bits which we'll talk about in the video. So yeah, watch out for that one. But anyway, coming along nicely. You see part 9, that's up with you right now. Part 10, which will finish off this particular build and this year's build as well as we make our way through. So that's down on there. Last up, we've got to pop over to PM World. Again, it's a little bit all over the place in there at the moment, purely because we've got the massive sale going on at the moment. Members, you know what you get. You get a little bit extra on top of the 25%, as you know. So we've got kits, but again, they've been selling out. They've been coming in. Oh, look, they've all gone. So forget that. But we had some of these added. We've got more stock going to be added into this next week. So the 25% offer area. These are all brand new kits, by the way. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not review samples or anything else like that. But this will come to an end on probably around about January the 3rd. As soon as we get back in the new year as well. So if you do want to get any of these kits, amazing price, like the Osprey, that's a big kit. You got it down there just at £78 as well. So some nice deals as well, as you can see. The MIGs, they're just worth it. 37 quid. Bargains. So yeah, if you want to grab any of these ones, pop along to the PM store and you can get those as well. Remember, that is coming to an end at the beginning of next year. So you've got until, as you say, 2nd of January, and then this will all be removed. Remember, as things go out of stock, they won't be replaced. So grab your bits and pieces as you can. And members, don't forget, pop onto the forum. You get extra discount on top of 25% as well. So if you want to grab anything from there, you can do. Remember, they've had a full restock as well recently of thinners, paints, glues, tools, all the different bits. I do believe the drills are due in today as well. So if you want to grab anything from there. So there's a few bits and pieces still floating around in here. The new arrivals, we've got the Spitfires are in as well. So if you want to get those, I know the pre-orders went out last week, but obviously they're up on general sale now as well. And a couple of the other bits that we spoke about on the Wednesday show. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do that as well. And then obviously we've got specials, which is just our little roundup with extra bits and pieces. Oh, they've sold out. There we go. The ATATs are all gone. So again, looking very nice down in there. You can grab any of your stuff as always just there. Cool. Good job. Right. That is about it from me. To be honest, short show because I want to get on with this one. I want to get it finished. So we can get on with this one and get it out of the way. Again, next week's going to be a little bit all over the place because obviously it's the run to Christmas. So I'm going to do a special show with you on Tuesday. I know the PM guys, they're going to be with me on Wednesday and we're going to do a special show for that. Next Thursday night, we've got our Christmas jumper special show. So please join us again for that one. We're going to have a few drinks, a few giggles and go right the way through there. And then obviously we've got Friday will be our last day before we take a bit of a break over Christmas until the new year. So it'd be great to have you along for that particular one. Don't forget group builds and SIGs. They're all going to come to an end as well. I'm going to talk about those obviously on the Tuesday show as well. We're going to have a good look around them all. So if you want to keep an eye out for those ones, members, you can do. Remember, group builds and SIGs, they're all going to finish on January. Then we've got the new lot that Nathan's put up for 2023 and we've got some great group builds in there as well. Right, that's it from me. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted.